The nurse busted the door open and she said, "Congratulations, you're pregnant." And my world flipped. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a really great day because I have in store a fresh new topic that I want to try, and I've been planning on it for a couple of weeks now. It's really fun to get back into the flow of things, filming again, because the last time I filmed my video was back in May, and God just had different plans for me for that short period of time. He just answered a prayer and a dream that I thought was nearly impossible due to my chronic pain, and I'm just so happy to share. I'll be going over just pregnancy symptoms, what I did to treat it, how my first trimester has gone, and some staple pieces from my wardrobe, just all those fun things. So if you're interested, keep watching. So if you guys have watched any of my videos before, my general theme here is living with chronic pain, but not just living through it, having hope through it. And it's here to touch not people just with chronic pain, but people who are just having a hard time with life and need a friend. So I'm here for you. I'll give you just enough information for today's video, but the type of chronic pain I have is located in a spot where it's hard to talk about. I know there's several people out there who are trying to get pregnant and they can't for a number of reasons. My issue is chronic pain in down there, and for the last 7 years since I've had this, it's been really discouraging to think that anyone would want to marry me, and then as much as having a kid, and that kind of possibility really gnawed at me because of how bad it has gotten. But I just want to offer some hope because God can totally make things happen when you feel like there's absolutely no way. And it has taken a lot of prayer, a lot of faith, a lot of challenging hope situations, and I'm just so excited to be having this experience because I would love to have a big family. And one thing God has been showing me lately that's been so evident is to not be anxious and don't worry about certain things, because He has totally showed up and blessed me in so many ways. He's going hey, I'm taking care of this. I'm taking care of you and what you want and your desires. And He is such an amazing God. He's a great father. Every time I'm on the edge of waiting, God shows up. And He shows up in a way you're that could not have happened without you. So I just want to share the story, the fun story of finding out. So Jeff and I have been trying to get pregnant. I think it was since March, probably March of 2022, and I have never ever bought a pregnancy test. Still haven't. I found out in a really funny way. So in May, Jeff got this stomach bug and it took him out for a couple of days. It didn't affect me, so I was going to work on a Friday day. And all of a sudden, in the middle of my shift, I felt super nauseous and I was oh no, I got the stomach bug or something. And it got so bad that I wanted to go home. So I asked to go home and I just went straight to the urgency care and waited in the lobby. And when the nurse came and got me, I told her, yeah, my husband's sick, but could you get me a pregnancy test just in case? And she said yes. So after a quick evaluation, I did the urine test and I was just totally feeling really bad. So I walked back into the room by myself and just waited, completely forgot about the pregnancy test. And I was just totally hunched over thinking, like, moaning over my own life. And the nurse busted the door open and she said, "Congratulations, you're pregnant." I was like, oh my gosh, I feel so much better. You totally made my day. I just repeated that like 3 times and I was so excited. And oh my gosh, it was the coolest moment ever. Sadly my nausea didn't go away. It was so fun. I hopped into the car and I FaceTimed my husband because like he was already at the store trying to get me some ginger ale, and I told him I'm pregnant, and oh my gosh, he was like shopping and like just so happy. Yeah, and like some people wait to tell people, but like I was like, we gotta tell the grandparents tonight. So we did, and it was just so cool. I wanted to like trick my parents. I was like, hey, I got some cool news. We're gonna do a FaceTime at this specific time. And I was just trying to be chill. And then we broke the news and it was awesome. It was so cool. And that day the doctor was like, yeah, you're like 5 weeks pregnant. But then the way we estimated it, I gave her the wrong information. And so technically I was 6 weeks pregnant when I found out. And right now I am 21 weeks pregnant. So way past the first trimester. So let's get into my symptoms. Nausea, I already tried ginger ale. Was sad to find out the back of the can didn't have ginger in it. I was like, what? This is ginger ale. And clearly it didn't make a damn difference. So after a little bit of research, I went to Target and then I found this one. This is the Reed's All Natural Real Ginger Ale. And this stuff totally works. And I do not stray away from that brand. The next thing I had was major exhaustion. I was like a zombie and tired and sleepy and just that all the time. I had just enough energy to do my shifts at Starbucks, but once I got home, I was like, I can't do anything. No dishes, no laundry, nothing. Just crash into bed. And when I did want to push myself, I remember like taking like a tub under my bed and I'd be crawling and like running out of breath and taking like a dozen breaks just to take it under my bed. And I was like, wow, this is a lot. I just got a text. I was doing, I read a couple books. I'm still reading them because it's very long. Let me get them because I can't remember. Woo! Okay, found them. So the first one I found was the Mayo Clinic's Guide to a Healthy Pregnancy. I love this book. It is so informational. The next one is the classic, What to Expect When You're Expecting. It was in the library. They were getting rid of it, so I got it, and I think it is from the 80s or 90s, so probably a little out of date, but good knowledge, even though. Also with the exhaustion, working at Starbucks, like endless access to caffeine, and it was hard not to drink caffeine the first trimester. Like, I lived for it. I needed it because there was no way I'd be sleeping on the counter if I wouldn't. But easing into the second trimester, I'm better at not having to drink caffeine. Like, I don't feel like I have to have it. Like, I don't do that or tea every single time I go to work now. So that's really great. Trying to stay on the doctor's orders. Okay, So uncomfortableness happened so much the first trimester. I feel like it was just like all of the stomach stuff shifting around to make space for the baby. It was just so uncomfortable. Like I would just like be moaning in bed, like tossing and turning. Like you just can't find a good spot because nothing helps. My doctor's office, they gave me a little booklet to read, and I still haven't gone through it, but they said it had some really helpful stuff. So yeah, don't have to call the doctor for a specific question like it's in that booklet, which I gotta find because we did move in the midst of me being pregnant, and it's still a little hard to find a couple things. As far as my chronic pain goes, I talked to like the head specialist of medicine caution, something like that, Mayo Clinic. I had a very long list of meds I was on, and there was several meds that like either was not okay for pregnancy or it was like a risk benefit kind of judgment. And I decided to like shove a lot of them away, so I'm on minimal meds right now, and I have been getting some pretty big flare-ups, so I asked for one of my prescriptions back, and that really helped on one day this last week that I was having like a really hard time. Oh yeah, so another thing that is helping me understand pregnancy, I follow this person on Instagram. She's called the Serenity Life Doula. I can link it down below, and all the other stuff I spoke about today. I bought like one of her on sale classes, and she has this like entire video series of your pregnancy and your rights as a patient and like the birthing process. And I feel like one of the hard things I struggled with at the doctor's office is like just trying to advocate for yourself, and I realized how important that is going on like with the chronic pain appointments. And like she just like totally blew my mind, like what kind of rights I have as a pregnant person. So if you want to follow her, I'll link it down below. And another pregnancy symptom I had was this so-called pregnancy brain. I didn't think I was gonna get this, but it's so crazy. Like, it's a forgetfulness like no other. And I noticed it creeping up on me because I have my whole schedule on my phone on a calendar, and it would be weird things like I would put it in my calendar and read the date or time completely wrong and miss things. Like I missed my 16-week appointment recently because I read the time wrong. Like not just once, but for like a couple weeks beforehand leading up to the day of. I'm usually the person who's really good at being on time, anywhere, ahead of the game, knowing scheduling things in advance, and it's been happening way too much that like this whole system's crashing down on me. So if you guys have any of these symptoms, comment down below because I'm curious to know how many of us have the same stuff going on. Let's get into fashion. Okay, so here's some of my sample pieces of my first trimester wardrobe. My favorites include this top from Zara. It's like a crop top, and I got these pants from a thrift store, and I just love them because they were like a few sizes bigger than what I was before I was pregnant, so I thought they would totally last the entire pregnancy because they have so many buttons going down. I'm like, no, it only lasted my first trimester. I really love how these have like distressed edges on the bottom. That's so cool. And I would pair it with this crop top and also with the white sneakers down here. It was really fun. Another top I would add to this was this white dress shirt, and you could either like dress it up, dress it down, sneakers or some other sandals. These are the sandals that I have. Really sparkly. I love sparkles. And then I have, what was my hat? I got this cool hat for my birthday, and I would wear it with this stretchy material dress on top, and it was like a really cool sundress. So like those are like the pieces that I would wear, like my go-to to dress up and stuff to look nice. Because at Starbucks we just have to wear like pretty bland colors. Like we can only wear a certain limited color palette, and I just want to look pretty some days. So it's really fun. Oh. And I wanted to show you guys this piece of jewelry. It says Mama. And it's so sparkly, and I love wearing it with a lot of different things. My husband got it because he works at a jewelry store. It's just so pretty. I'll link it down below if you want to check it out. So that kind of wraps it up, but wait, I want to give you guys a little bonus. I have half of this bedroom is my nursery for the baby, and I've gotten a few things, and I think it'd be fun to show you around. So this setup by the door will be like the main wall, and this whole wooden setup here is a piece of furniture from my grandma. She has passed away, but it's just one of those mementos you keep from your grandparent, and so looks great in the university. Looks great in the nursery, and I'm just gonna fill it up with some stuff. I just have it piled with some random things right now. I did grab this changing table, and I love how those like such big open spaces I can fill in with like diapers and other essentials. And another piece I picked up used was this IKEA dresser. I think it's so neat. Just fill it up with baby clothes, but I don't think I'm gonna leave it here actually because it's kind of awkward. And on this side of the wall, I did get a little splurge from my father-in-law when he visited this last week. So he got me this toy basket. I wanted something that looked pretty nice. And then I just totally scored at the Goodwill. And I got this really cool wooden old antique rocking chair. I think it's so cute. And then in our closet, I'm going to be sticking mostly to neutrals for our first kid because I want to have lots of kids, and there's no sense in wasting away or storing away specific gender's clothes. I don't think. I just don't want to do that. Because then it can be easily reused for the next kid. This is just a little play mat. And hopefully we'll get a rocking chair here soon. I got one set up on my registry. So all I need is a rocking chair in here and maybe a spot for the pack and play. Maybe right there. But yeah. So it's going to be like just basically this half of the room. The other half is my husband's for studying, for school. Okay, and so that wraps up my first trimester. Make sure you like and subscribe. Comment below if you enjoyed this video or have suggestions or want to see some other ideas or topics related to my pregnancy. And then I'll continue on with the rest of my general idea for the YouTube. And it would be really helpful. It would just be really helpful to know that you liked this, because it helps me like think and plan what kind of topics to talk about in the future. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.